WTF, by Mark Maron's podcast, What the Fuck, is an excellent. I'd highly recommend it to you. He's one of the best interviewers of comedians, and I've been listening to it for about 1.5 years now. About a year ago, I had this Damascus moment where I realized I want to be a stand-up comedian. And then immediately I hit a brick wall. Because I had this $1 million idea. And a $1 million idea for me means something's not going to get done. Here's my $1 million idea. A documentary about this 47-year-old who out of the blue decides to become a stand-up comedian, and we follow him then from his beginnings, and we just sort of see his crashing and burning on stage, the disintegration of his marriage. It's the American movie of stand-up comedy. But the problem was, I wanted someone to film me writing my first 5 minutes. I don't know, in a yellow pad or something, and so I'm waiting. I'm waiting for that guy to come and film me. So for 6 months, nothing happens. I'm completely stuck. Luckily, I catch a terrible stomach virus. Now, there are two types of folk in the world. Those who, when they're incredibly nauseous, want to just throw up and get it over with, and they think that that's going to make them feel better. And then there's me. I think the worst thing in the world is throwing up. Again, my experience with pain and suffering is limited, but to me, there's nothing worse than throwing up. I will try as hard as I can not to. So I'm in bed. I'm in the fetal position. I can't do anything. I can't listen to music, can't read, cannot fall asleep, because then your body will throw up. And I'm just curled up, whimpering, and I think, I should write my first 5 minutes of stand-up. So I do. In my mind, again, in that fetal position, I start working up this 5 minutes of stand-up comedy, and it starts working. I would say, I don't know what time it was, but maybe 2 hours later, I finish. I get my first. It's pretty solid stuff. But the ending kills. Just an amazing ending. So I'm in that fetal position, kind of feeling good about myself, and I realize I can't do this. Two things. First, it's blue. Now, I think I can do blue. I shouldn't. I'm a school teacher, and school teachers just shouldn't go blue. But it's blue, and it's about my mother. In close proximity, twice, I'm going to have to say, fuck and Iris. Not fuck the Irish, mind you, but my mother's name is Iris. I'm going to have to say this. And I realize, I fight with myself for about 5 minutes trying to say, yes, you can do this, and then I realize, no, you can't do that. And then can I change it? Can I? And the answer is no. So I'm back in that position now, feeling even worse than I did before. And I think to myself, why don't you write another 5 minutes? And I do. I write my second 5 minutes. This is even better. This is in the Amazon jungle. There's an upper and lower GI involved. I'm in New Jersey. I'm in Houston. I'm getting the story together, but it doesn't have an ending. I've got something that's going to connect it all, but it hasn't happened yet. I have to do this. And so as soon as I do this, I'll tell you what I've got to do. I've got to go to the Hare Krishna temple on West 34th Street, huge temple that they've just built, and confront a priest about something that happened to me in 8th grade at the Miami airport. Then I'll have that, I hope, finished. Well, I was talking to one of my students about this, telling her about how I wanted to be a stand-up comedian. And she just looked at me. She gave me, and the Germans have a name for this look. It's very, very long and doesn't translate into English. But we're going to call it the University of Chicago look. Okay, Mr. Horn, let's hear one of your jokes. And I said, I'm not that type of comedian. Thank you, you've been a great audience. Very appreciative. Ciao.